Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Jelson here, and today we're back with a brand new NBA video, and this is a double upload for today. I hadn't uploaded in months, so I'm gonna double upload today, and hopefully we can continue this streak going. But there was a pretty big announcement that I mentioned in my last video, but I wanted to make a full-blown video on it because it's that big of a move, and that is DeAndre Ayton signing with the Indiana Pacers. And as of right now, it looks like it's gonna hold. And this video could age literally terribly because, the Suns could match it and nothing changes. But the points I want to make, a lot of them can be transferred to the Suns going into next year. And obviously Suns fans know what Ayton is and all that. But for Pacers fans, what you're getting is a 7'1", type big man, a guy that's going to absolutely bang in the paint when it comes to both offense and defense. One of the best, not perimeter, but post defenders in the game. But I want to go over some of it, just quick box score stats. And I know a lot of people don't like to go into stats because they're like, stats don't tell us the full story, which is, well, it's the truth. They don't completely tell the story. But he's been a consistent guy that can put up basically 15 points per game for you his entire career, right? And he was never expected to be this out of the world, outlandish scorer like you might think of an Anthony Edwards or a Donovan Mitchell type of player. He was never supposed to be this outlandish best scorer in the league type of player. He was never supposed to be that. He was supposed to be a guy that's going to put up some offense, but then also put up a lot of defense, almost like a better offensive version and little worse defensive version of Rudy Gobert, right? So, dropping basically 15 points per game per year. It fluctuated up to 18 points per game in the 1920 season, and last year it was at 17 points per game. But his efficiency's always been, top of the league, basically, averaging around 60% throughout his career. Last year was at a 64% clip, which is very, very good. I don't know where that ranks in the total, like the entire league, but as of my knowledge, it's very, very good and very high up there. And a guy that can at times step out and hit a 3-point shot. I wouldn't call him no Myles Turner, Karl Anthony Towns type of player, but I would definitely say that if absolutely needed, Earth is on the line. We're not taking Andre Iguodala because he's not on the team, and the only person that can get the ball is DeAndre Ayton. I guess DeAndre Ayton could take the shot. Like, that's, he can knock down one if absolutely needed. And so, you're going to get a guy that's pretty versatile when it comes to his defense, and his offense is, pretty middle of the pack when it comes to centers. So, DeAndre Ayton getting a 4-year, $133 million contract with a no-trade clause in the first year is... I don't know if I'd call it questionable or if I would call it just right. It was the biggest, I believe, offer sheet in NBA history, which is rather interesting because you think that would have happened to a bigger name free agent, right? A bigger name young free agent. But I guess there was really no free agents that were going to make it this far in the process that would be willing or deserving of this much money, because usually they get extended, right? They get, rookie max extensions or whatever, but this is different. He didn't get extended with the Suns. The Suns offered him one, but he wanted a 5-year deal and they offered him a 4-year deal. So he waited out, ended up signing a 4-year deal anyway here with the Pacers. So I don't know what's going on there, but the Pacers, I don't know what this is going to do. It kind of confuses me for the Pacers because, I was having a conversation with someone and I'm like, do you really want to tie up $133 million in a guy that, he kind of fits your timeline, right? He's like 23, 24, but, what's the direction of your team? What are you trying to do? Are we trying to do full rebuild, but we're gonna have that time frame of the 24-ish age, 23-ish age range, or are we gonna just go full fresh? We want rookies, we want second-year players, and a third-year player, fourth-year, fifth-year player is too old. Like, that's kind of like what I was questioning. Like, obviously that's not always going to be the case, but do they want to tie up 133 million into a fifth-year player coming up here. So that was my biggest question. He's 23. I mean, he's young enough, and it was the biggest question, as I've said, is do you want to tie up that much money in this player? Are you willing to wait and see what comes around next offseason? And well, it seems like they were perfectly content signing DeAndre into this deal, which is perfectly fine because he's a solid player. It's I consider maybe a little bit of an overpay, but King of the Fourth Quarter said something for the Suns. It was like, it's okay to overpay to keep your window open. And that is for the Suns. I want to get into the Suns side of things right now. That I agree with Kenny here. It's okay to overpay to keep your window open here. And if you don't, keep DeAndre Ayton and you just lose him completely without having a sign-in trade, I don't know where that Suns team lands. They are definitely a lot worse on defense, and they're definitely a lot worse record-wise, right? DeAndre Ayton is that good of a player. So I start to question what happens with the Suns there. But I saw some reports that the deal can't go through for 24 hours or whatever. So we'll see what happens there. I know the Suns have 48 hours to match the sheet, but DeAndre Ayton has to wait 24 hours to sign the current sheet. So it puts them in position to, do a potential sign and trade, which brings up the question of the Pacers have Myles Turner already. He's on a 1-year deal. What do they do? I think what they end up doing is if the Suns don't want to just lose DeAndre Ayton straight up, and the Pacers don't want to have any competition with DeAndre Ayton, what I think happens is there's probably going to be a sign and trade happening. DeAndre Ayton obviously gets traded to the Pacers, and the Suns get Myles Turner. It kind of makes, one-to-one sense in my head, at least. They need a center. Myles Turner is, I don't know if I'd say a worse version of DeAndre Ayton, but definitely can do very similar to what DeAndre Ayton does in the sense of a good defender, a solid offensive player. Myles Turner obviously can shoot the 3-ball just quite a bit better, especially at a higher efficiency, or I should say higher rate. Like if we look at DeAndre Ayton, he's a career 25% 3-point shooter, and you're like, okay, well, that you said he could step out, and shoot whatever. Last year on very, very, very little attempts, he did shoot like basically 37%. So he can definitely, space out if absolutely needed. Myles Turner is a guy that he isn't afraid to shoot a 3-pointer, right? He's going to take 3-pointers, and you're not necessarily gonna be upset with him taking 3-pointers, and that's a difference, right? Does that bring some versatility to the Suns offense that we haven't seen prior? I think so, and I think it might be a good move. Does Myles Turner fit in with the Suns better than DeAndre Ayton did? It's to be determined. I personally think he probably would. But that sign and trade would have to be probably Myles Turner, and then I don't think Myles Turner is enough to warrant a sign trade, but thinking the Suns are like, well, we either get Myles Turner or a first-round pick or whatever, or just lose him for nothing. And I think that what they end up doing is probably just doing a Myles Turner of DeAndre Ayton swap. Maybe throw in a first-round pick. I don't think so, but maybe you do. That could definitely be the deal. And that's what I'm thinking going on here for the Suns. Pacers, obviously, I got questions. I'm kind of confused. But I like this young core with Mathurin, and then also Tyreese Haliburton. That core there, those young three could definitely end up being something in the future. And I just posted a video on Ben, so if you want to watch that, just on my channel. It's literally my last video. But Pacers, let's see what happens. Pacers fans, let me know. Suns fans, let me know what you guys think in the comments. But I'm very excited to see what's going to go on here in the NBA and the rest of free agency until the season starts, right? So I'll definitely keep you guys updated with new videos whenever big news breaks, as long as I'm not out of town. And that's something that I'm looking forward to doing and starting up again. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, subscribe. It's been your boy Jelson. See you guys next time. Peace.